Hello, hi, welcome to Emperor Rzak, my personal channel. Today I'll be discussing the important topics that I think that schools in Africa should be teaching kids. They are ready to learn at a young age, and it's easy for them to digest, easy for them to understand, and it's very important for them to know the to have the knowledge in life early as well, early making early choices based on early knowledge. I mean, we're all affected by the education that we have at any given time. The timing of giving that information is very important. So I just wanted to quickly, I won't be long, I just wanted to discuss quickly three topics. There might be more later, but for now, three topics that I think African schools should teach kids from school to secondary school, primary school, topics like that. Break it down into forms that these kids can digest with their brain. I mean, there's SS3 kids are very smart kids. They study chemistry. Let's put that in perspective. Chemistry, biology, and physics. When I was in secondary school, I really hated physics. It was so hard. Even further maths. You know what further maths is? Makes people cry. I didn't want further maths in my life at all. It was very hard. Algebra. So I'm just putting you. So some people, because of some of the topics I'm going to mention here, they're going to look too sophisticated for secondary school kids. But I just want to put in perspective what secondary school kids study in SS1 to. They study biology, chemistry, and physics. Further maths and social studies, geography. They study things that are hard to study. So they are ready for other things, just that the curriculum is limiting them to certain topics. I think this curriculum is still based on the colonial days where they wanted basic workers, not really educated people. So let's get to the topic subjects that I think African schools should teach their kids, their pupils, students, how you call them, different words. Number one, basic law and civil rights. Why? Why should they teach basic law and civil rights? Well, you find out that, if you are aware of the law in a certain land, even let's say as a migrant in the UK, it takes you time to understand the law in the land. Then you start to behave before you might break a law before you even know it's a law. So you start forming your habits based on the laws that you're learning slowly, daily. It might be different from what you know in your own country. I'm from Nigeria, so I'm in the UK. There's different laws that I didn't know until I encountered them by someone stating it, or I read it somewhere on the TV showed it. So yeah, law, just the kids knowing the law, what to do, what they cannot do. You cannot steal for a living just because your uncle is a famous thief. You're going to. There's a possibility of prison. There's things you educate kids on how to go ahead in the society. The law also gives them a feeling of security, knowing that these are the laws that are protecting them even as young kids. Maybe specify more on the laws that affect children or younger people. You know, make them aware. Know their constitutional rights and freedoms, so they don't have unnecessary anxieties or sell themselves short. They should understand the structure of the government, basic, just executive, legislative, judiciary, how they work, how they connected. They might start aspiring to be part of a certain part of the government and the law. At a very young age. Sometimes you ask kids what they want to be, they have just five choices: lawyer, doctor, and there are so many deeper parts of those things. Like you specify in gynecology to or pediatrics, children and stuff. You can specify medicine. So the point is giving kids a direction early by letting them know what is the legal structure in their country. People are thinking it's going to be a difficult one. Lawyers, they're cramming. Lawyers are cramming law and cases and responses. AI today can replace most of those Nigerian lawyers. I'm telling you, I was studying medicine when they were studying law. I know what they're suffering. They're just cramming, repeating after me. So before you know it, AI will be doing most of the work lawyers do. That's just the way it's just going to be like that. So whether the knowledge of how to, the knowledge of law coming early to kids will help them to be able to impute into this legal system by observing it from an earlier age. They can add something to it. Things like letting them know difference between things like civil law, criminal law. Simple topic. You're talking about competence here. The more they know about these things, the more competent they become, the more confidence they develop about how they operate legally in their own country. Secondary school kids are not kids. There's no age limit in secondary school anymore. When I was in secondary school, there were people there that was 28 years old in SS3. I was 15, and there's people with me that are 30, 28. I'm not lying. Ask anybody. Check my school records. I was 15 in a class with 28-year-olds. So I'm saying just give them this knowledge. There are people there that will take it. Even if the youngest there will be about my age, 15. Maybe now I was younger. I'm talking about 2000, 1999. That's when I was in SS3. So yeah, that's it for law. Like give them access to knowledge of law, so they have competence and confidence in their nation and how it works early. Number two, basic medicine, basic homeopathic and traditional medicine. I don't want to call it traditional because some people start jumping off. Che, this guy's talking about witchcraft, and I'm talking about homeopathic medicine, something you can study for 3 years and get a degree in. But I'm telling you why I said this can be given to younger people is because of how easy it is. They are all about how to use crops, how to heal. Okay, let me start. How to safe natural remedies for minor illnesses. For example, you got a headache. What can you take? Normal just herbs and fruits, and how to treat temperature difference, cold, hot. All these things they are regulated. No, there's regulated knowledge on homeopathic medicine. That if you're thinking medicine as medicine, this is why I say this, because it's not something that you need a pharmaceutical drug to work with. And if you're somewhere there's not, if you have even a highway, for example, somewhere you don't have access to a doctor, educated people should not be stranded. They should be able to help people because they went to school. How can you say you went to school but yeah, you're waiting for a doctor to come and do basic things? You know, basic, like, help. Somebody's passing out or something. Someone has a little rash. Someone has a little pain here and there. There's remedies you can teach kids that are legitimate. These remedies are easier than chemistry. Chemistry will tell you hydrochloro. Kids, they lost. They're like, wait, start again. But if you say mango, oh, you have pain in your leg, take this fruit, take this vegetable. It's so easy to connect those two for kids than say uh, the physics, for example. And let's talk about which one is more useful today. All the people studied chemistry in their life today. How many of them have used chemistry in their life today? It's a useless waste of time in school that you're learning. It's not useless compared to homeopathic medicine. It's quite useless because you will use homeopathic medicine every day. You wake up, you have kata, you apply homeopathic medicine. You wake up, you have any problem you have at any time. Even if you have a small injury that doesn't need pharmaceutical medical help or surgery, you will know how to treat it, curing scars, healing bones. There are all these practices. Your skin problems, your stomach, you know, taking out parasites, keeping your body alkaline. Well, it's very easy to learn, and I think kids should be privileged. It should be part of their curriculum. Not waste their time in school there learning things that they just will not find it hard to use in the future. I mean, physics is cool, but talk about 90% of physics is useless. Further maths. Do you know that's like the most frustrating class I've ever been in? I'm thinking, I was like, what, why? A plus 2x equals IB 2z, bro. No, I'm off. No, stop. I'm off. I left the class. I had a choice. I went a couple of times and I thought plus the teacher. I didn't like the teacher. So further maths is harder than homeopathic medicine and it's totally useless. Tell me when you use algebra. Maybe once in your life. That you record that day and show people because algebra is useless. So naturopathic medicine, learn how to apply herbs and things to your problems. You know when to use. You teach them when to use traditional versus when to use modern medicine. There are different applications. Like if you're in an accident, don't drive the down. If someone has an accident, broke their leg, they're bleeding, don't drive them to a homeopathic doctor. Might not be able to operate if he's not a surgeon. There's a bigger chance of finding a surgeon in modern medical centers because surgery is a big part of their studies. Can't believe I'm 10 minutes already. I thought it was going to be a very short video. Well, it is important what I'm saying. Uh, Another reason why they should learn homeopathic medicine is to also find respect for their ancestors. A lot of people now when they see modern medicine, they believe that their ancestors were practicing rubbish, carry juju, they chop grass. No, 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 stop, no, it's not like that. It's even the opposite. Where modern medicine developed by studying your ancestors and what they did, they will follow them around. What did you give this person? And you cure the malaria? They will take that plant, they will do experiment, check the parts that they used to treat, and extract that part and make a pill for you. But as I said, there's ups and downs because that can give you quick relief, but it's also not organic, so it doesn't fit in your body organically like plants and fruits, vegetables do. So you always have problem taking those unnatural cures, but it will give you a quick relief. But as I said, we need to teach these kids when to apply the two sides. Hopefully these two sides work together and they are one because that would be amazing. All that technical analysis and nature together. Maybe just GMO will be used for the right thing finally. GMO, let me just say, first person to say it, the good use for GMO would be for them to modify plants so that they cure diseases faster. Isn't that this is just crazy. I just thought about this right now, man. That's sick. So yeah, GMO as medicine. That sounds crazy, but it is what it is. What I just said is instead of extracting from plants, you can modify the plants to produce more of this thing that cures the disease, and that is acceptable GMO. That's why I say don't rush to condemn any side. See how both sides come from God, and we can work together and respect God first of all. Then you can't be condemning too deeply. This is in this video the first day I had this thought how GMO can be used in naturopathic medicine. If they say calcium from a mango, I'm just saying for example, cures tongue cancer, the GMO can make the calcium concentration in that mango extra so that you just need that mango. Come on, man. Don't need to buy drugs. Just plant your mango and be curing your problems. I'm very excited about that idea. I don't know. I'll deal with that. I'll talk about that later. Oh yeah. No, the third topic I would like African schools to teach kids in school is the relationship between Africa and the world. Because I don't think a lot of, I moved here when I was after some years of university in Nigeria. I was a big boy, just I had my own car, we had everything with a flex. Only to come here and find out that them say that I know I'm not on the level, or I'm not according to the relations Africa has with the world. I'm still a low level guy, I'm not on par. So I was like, what is going on? So after all those big boys in Nigeria, they still come here and lawyer me. They want to lawyer me. They want to tell me that based on your history, you know what you think. So I think I'm not saying to motivate hate or something. I'm just saying to motivate people. A lot of kids right now, when they go to school, they don't even think there's nothing motivating them to in school. If they knew about their history, for example, their colonial history and colonial history and giving them that colonial history and Pan-Africanism, how Pan-Africanism started, why it started. People be going to school for different reasons to study so they can help their nation, Right now, most people are going to school so they can get a good job, impress their family, make money, spend money. All their friends are proud. You know, that's why most people go to school. They think of which course, what course can I do so that I can earn a lot of money, so that everybody will respect me. Don't forget, I passed that stage when I was just 19. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I had a nice everything, Mercedes Benzes, uh, everything, money, power, respect. I'm just telling you that the point is, even let's forget about me. Let's talk about um, footballers. So those people are very rich. They earn £100,000 a week. They're still facing the same problems: racism, people thinking they want to steal unless they say, "I'm a footballer." Oh shit, which club? Oh, it's true. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were just, a typical, you know what I mean? Oh, well, you know what I mean. So that late awareness gave me late direction. You know what I mean is that, the people, when I discovered those kind of things, that there were still things to do even after achieving societal glory or whatever, politics, where you are a boss in your hood. But then you leave, you think, anywhere you go in this world now, they're labeling you as a blackie. So they will be like, yo, go backy. No, 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 no. There are some problems will arise. So if you're not aware of this, you don't, your education is not directed. I'm not saying, by the way, it's not, it's like, for example, um, becoming Nigeria making products, factories, jobs, the whole picture of your country, you become aware of it and then you become a part of it. Before you become aware of it, you can't really be a part of it. You just be living your own life where you are, most of the things you do is because you are gaining from it personally. So when you get to a level where you are you're willing to sacrifice your gains for the gain of your country. I think it comes with education, where you are now thinking more of the whole people, not just yourself. Come on, man. I was in Worry with enjoying Worry, Nigeria. That's where I grew up. And bro, I was balling. You know what I mean? I went to Beans. I was balling. You know what balling means? Balling. But I'm surrounded and I'm in a country where, turn left and right, you see everything's there waiting for you. The reality of, oh yeah, okay. So after what I'm trying to say to you is that after I left the Nigeria, I came to UK. Man, you want to form like you're a baller or something. You're a baller. Yes, you had Benzes and all of that things. All your friends are balling. I went to school with them. Dan Tata, Sanusi. Then some big boys. I don't want to start naming names. They'll say, why they call my name now? I said, Dan Tata. That's Dangote's uncle. His family members were in my school. The Sanusi boys and twins. I can name a lot. I'm just saying the famous ones that most people know. And it wasn't like I didn't feel like this country was above me. I felt like, man, we're probably running this country right now. The way I was from this angle, these boys, my friends right now, they're running things. They got the biggest clubs, parks, everything, oil and gas companies, central bank workers. I'm just saying, man. Just this is my job. This is my own part. Now everybody's doing their part. We held it down. So the point is, when I moved here, I realized, whoa, there's no respect, man, based on just color. People saying, yo, you might want to rob me. I'm walking down the street, someone click their car, click, click, like, yo, this guy might jump in and take my watch. So yeah, it take you some time to understand and get used to it. But my point is, there are things that you can start doing right now on the continent, right from school level, that changes those perspectives, because all black people have one continent where their picture is taken. What I mean, let me rephrase. You are who you are. You're successful, rich, poor, tall, short, but because you come from a continent most people like you come from, you are represented by that continent. You can say, oh, I'm a best play, like Messi. If Messi goes to a club called Warri Wolves in Warri. Uh, let's say it's from this club. I can't give that example. I'm trying to give a good example. So yeah, I'll give you a typical example. Like Drogba. Drogba now has his girlfriend now. He's playing for Chelsea. He has his girlfriend. Some girl from UK, London girl that just, dating. He likes her. She's nice, making character, good jokes. She's deep. She has a spiritual life. Everything's working well. Drogba is making 100,000 a week. One day they show one ad on TV where they're saying, help, which country that boy from? Cote d'Ivoire. Help Cote d'Ivoire. Help Cote d'Ivoire with £3 so that the kids can eat. See Drogba there is telling his girlfriend he's a big boy. I got this Benz. I'm gonna buy this new car, 100,000. So the girl now asking that, why don't you just go help those kids, man? These kids in your country starving, mate. Your kids in your country are starving. And you're here buying Benz, 300,000. So that will hurt Drogba. I'm sure he will attack. He will feel that girl is disrespecting. Why are you connecting me? But sooner or later, it's going to be clear what is happening, which is he has not done what he's supposed to do. So he has not been involved in his community as he should be. So that's probably what he's look at Drogba now. He's a crazy philanthropist. Most rich people that lived in Europe, they become philanthropists. They understand what's going on, which is there's still a lot to do in the continent. And it will come basically from early direction, from early education. This is not about hate or just understand your positioning while people are positioning you. From there you can work on something or a solution to this problem. But if it takes you 30 years, some of my friends that came to UK to visit me when they were around 30, their first time abroad, they never experienced racism. So their activism came late. When they show them Pepe, one or two Pepe, they change their Facebook profile picture. Africa must be free. Africa must be free. Since I was telling you this story, you say, Rzak, concentrate on other things now. Why are you always talking about when they experience the racism? When someone asks you, are you sure this your credit card? Is this your debit card? When they're gonna arrest you for shop while you're shopping because you get too much £50 notes. Then your eye go clear. You'll shout, this is racism. Police go tell you, say, don't worry about it, mate. If they don't want you to shop here, you can just go to another shop. But what about sure, you go tire now. I'm sure this happens to. So when some Africans, when they never chop, if you say racism, they're like, I don't understand. I just want to work, pay my rent, I beg. I don't want to hear this story. So some of my friends now, they just begin to chop money. They get good job. They buy house. And now they want to start to be activists. You see their posts now. Man, we must change this plan, this Africa, because they just chop. We won't chop since. We just chop, we overfed, nigga. We're too fed. With too much food enter our brain, you know what I mean? We're too relaxed. So first things first, we face what is to be faced, which is as a continent we need what do you call it? Educational directing in awareness of what is happening, what Africa is facing internationally. Yeah, modern day, all this modern day global racism, stereotyping, all that kind of stuff. And then explained how the African role in politics and economy in the international world, like NATO, United Nations, what's their power there? What do they do there? They just go there, the president's puppets. They go there, they just say yes sir. They give them some cash, more support to ruin their own country. I'm not sure. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just saying what power do they say United Nations. If I last said it, one person has 50 votes there. Is it based on cash or muscle? If you have, it depends on how much muscle you are. You have more votes. You can take people's votes. Come on, give me that vote. So, Fela said it all those Momo United Nations settings. So you have to, kids, they start to understand this thing. So you start building this. They are so smart, these kids. So once they understand there's a problem, they will solve it earlier than us. Smarter, faster, more, less violence, no violence. We don't want violence and hate. We want love, peace, progress. Promote to promote critical thinking, empathy, and cultural pride. Critical thinking. You know, because if you don't have a problem, you won't be thinking. You just solve your math problems and go to sleep. Those kind of stuff. So yeah, this is the three topics. The three topics I think they should add to schools from JSS 1, secondary schools, To be more specific, even primary school, they can break it down slowly and add it to this curriculum. Be very good. Basic law and civil rights. Let the this is, as I said, to give people a basic feel of the environment they're growing up in. What is the law? Some place like if you're growing up in a Sharia system, for example, you would like to know these laws are the difference between the laws here and other places. That's basically what I'm saying. Teach people how to teach people what their laws are early. It helps them live a legal, lawful life and a happier life. Less problems with the law and more time to build a structure that incorporates the law, incorporates being part of the society legally. Secondly, basic homeopathic and traditional practices for health that works, that are proven. I want to, as I said, scratch traditional because then I know this self hatred won't let people accept what I mean by traditional. Homeopathic, the use of herbs, fruits, herbs, practices like cold, hot water, homeopathic medicine in schools. Kids learning early about how to use what they have around them instead of depending heavily on a pharmaceutical medical system that is not affordable in this country, in Nigeria, and most African countries. It's not affordable. You want to go do surgery, you want to go to the doctor, you pay, pay, pay. Instead, why are you educating yourself? It's like in the future, you want us to hire a mathematician. It's like saying you want to hire a mathematician to solve a maths problem when you can learn maths in school. Maths is very hard. If you didn't study maths and you meet a mathematician in your future, yeah, he go shock you. They'll be like expert. Say they didn't teach us maths in school, but we met a mathematician. Everybody goes to him. Please, I have this mathematical problem. That's what those things are. That's how they are. They're very simple and direct. You can learn them in school. So yeah, naturopathic medicine, teaching people how to use what they have around them to cure simple illnesses and problems, and teaching them the difference between what naturopathic medicine can do and what this modern medicine does, so they can choose when to use each system. And then relations, race relations, from African relationship with the rest of the world. What is going on? Africa, like what is the connection with Africa and the world? They need to learn because then it gives them more direction, early direction. It promotes critical thinking. It gives them empathy for the diaspora, like what the diaspora is going through, like how they can help make it better. It gives them cultural pride. In return, that cultural pride helps the diaspora as well by being having something to look at that gives them pride, which is educated in their own pride Africans, in their own culture. So Africans who are proud of themselves, making people in the diaspora proud to be of African origin. Yep, this is it now. This is it for now. This topic, I just wanted to make a brief topic on some topics I think should be included in the school curriculum from secondary school or primary school, depends on how they break it down. I hope you've enjoyed it and you learned something today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, make comment if you want to ask me a question, whatever you want to know, or you want to find out something else. Let me know. Thank you very much. It's a very nice. I enjoyed it myself. I really enjoyed this because I learned something today. Don't forget that the GMO being applied into naturopathy, that is something exciting. Like making plants that contain the right amount of nutrients for a certain disease to get cured. That is going to be an amazing direction in the future. Guys, well, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You have Emperor Rzak. Thank you. Bye.